right, guys, we're back for week 4 of the Steel Show with head coach, Coach Moroski. It was a huge game for C of I this weekend. Great turnout by the fans. I want to lead off with that. The tailgate was amazing. Huge turnout by the alumni, young and old. Huge crowd. It was electric in there. You could feel the energy in the stadium. I know the players fed off it. So talk a little bit about the atmosphere and what it was like coaching in that.
Well, I think that's all part of the uniqueness of Caldwell and the College of Idaho. It started in the very first year, 0 year, and we had like 5,000 people at a couple of games that year. But there's just something about the way the community's wired, and they love football, and they love Caldwell. So there's a lot of Caldwell pride. And then you get the surrounding communities involved with Boise families and kids who are playing, and I think it can still grow. But I think Saturday was reminiscent of the first year, and to do that in year 5 and 6 and get good, exciting crowds means we're going in the right direction as a program, and the community is such a big part of that. I guess that's what I would say to the fans out there. They're just such a big part of what we're trying to do.
Yep, and it's huge in recruiting. It's huge for the players. It's really big for everything. It's big for the students around campus to see such a great atmosphere, and the administration. It's big for everyone to see such support.
Every coach that comes in of the opponents that we play says, "Man, you guys just have it. You just do such a great job with your game day thing." And there's so many people that do that, and so it's exciting, and I think it's fun for the fans. It's fun for the students. The student section was fantastic. So I love that, and I believe with all my heart that the students got to be involved, the alumni have to be involved, and the community has to be involved, and at least they're all involved in a big way.
Yep.
And I think it could grow, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, so let's keep that up and keep helping the Yotes get some victories.
Great stuff. Couldn't be more pleased. The players love it, and so the tailgate, first real walk where there's people lining the whole way. It was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. It didn't feel like an NAI atmosphere, honestly. It felt a little bit. I told a couple of people that I go to the Boise State tailgates a lot, and you can walk through the rows of the parking lot, and there are just cars in every spot. And it felt a little bit like that in the Jake parking lot. It was just, I walked 3 or 4 rows, and every single spot was filled with people, or at least a car, and people hanging out. It was a party out there.
Keep coming out there and spread the word, because it really is a lot of fun. It's fun for our guys. I think it's fun for everybody.
Absolutely. So going on to the game, initial reactions from watching the film, and what you thought about your
Well, I think it's an all-time win. You know, we find ourselves in a position where we're playing very well, and we know we can win games, and more than believe we can win games, and you wonder if you're going to still have the edge, that you have when your back's up against the wall, like we were at the end of last year, like we came in and preached to the guys week 1. So we've won 2 big games, Southern Oregon 0-2, a couple of very, very tough losses. So you wonder if you're going to be sharp, and I was concerned, to be honest with you, with the week of practice, that we may not be as sharp, partially because I know Southern Oregon. They spread the field. You got to make tackles in space, and I knew we'd have to be, on a razor's edge in terms of being ready to go.
And they always have game-changing type players. That's why it's tough to go against Southern. They got game breakers on.
But I thought we responded great. I mean, Darius threw the pick 6, so we go behind, but we came right back. A couple of neat special team situations get a safety, so it's 17-16 at half. And our guys, we have a great group of guys. So hats off to the coaches. We were prepared. We played them tough. We really got after the quarterback, which we knew we'd have to do. He's a tough young man, and he threw some balls. But number 1, we shut down their vertical passing game. It did open up some things inside. We missed some tackles in there, which kept some drives going for them. And then on offense, we were passing game had to come through, and it really did. And then we found a way to run it just enough, and down the stretch we were able to put the game away.
So talk a little bit about Darius' performance, and as well as I thought the receivers took a step this week. Warris had a big game. To talk about some of those guys in the past.
Hunter Warris was fantastic. 7 or 8 catches. Keegan Crafton made a couple of big catches. One big 3rd down catch and another big vertical. Got the ball to Connor Richardson a couple of times. So those guys have to be big, and they're dangerous. Darius, any quarterback that's thrown a pick 6, it can get in your head, and so I was very, very proud of him. I mean, I think it affected him for minute, but I was proud of him.
Right.
I thought Coach Cody called a good game and got him back on track, in which you have to do as a play caller. You have to get him back in the zone, and it wasn't all his fault. I mean, we blew the protection.
Yeah, I saw that little protection there.
And the kid made a great play, and that happened. That's football. So couldn't be happier, and it shows how far he's come in terms of being able to shake it off quicker than I even thought he would. He was spectacular. I thought some of the balls he threw on the run were incredible.
Great right to left, and that's what's great about Darius is you can roll him left, you can roll him right. It seemed like he was just putting him on the money all day. And talk a little bit about the drive following the pick six. A couple of big plays, ball to Juarez, and how important that was for you guys to answer that pick six with a touchdown right away.
Yeah, absolutely, it's big, and so we knew we knew that Hunter Juarez could run by their corners, and we do enough. We run the ball enough. So play action is such a big part of our game. We're faking our favorite power run, and then finding a way to get it downfield, and that was a huge play. And then couple runs, and Nick was just fantastic, and it was huge to get back in the game.
Yes, sir.
But games are long, and that's another thing with so many young players. Sometimes the younger guys don't realize, man, this is a long game.
Yeah, one play's not going to kill you.
We're out here forever, so we just got to stay with it. We're good enough. We're fast enough on defense, and what I mean by that is our pursuit to the ball is impressive. We're tackling well. So even though they had a significant number of passing yards, I thought we did some great things.
And kind of a bend but don't break mentality, right?
Yeah,
give up a few plays here and there, but tighten up when you need to.
We didn't want to give up the big ones over the top, and we're maybe at a stage where we're just fast enough. We also played a little bit more conservative, a lot more cover two with two deep safeties than we ever have before. So the game plan was fantastic. Again, hats off to the coaches, but Southern's tough. They find a way, but near the end, and maybe the big drive was the one in the third quarter where we took the lead. Bunch of plays. We get down there and throw the halfback pass with Justin Hellier, and he's just one of those guys. I hope you do interview him because he's a transfer. He's come in. He's just such a lovable guy, and I think when that happened, he made a long run just prior to that. And guys, and I do believe he's a Division I special teams player, so he helps the team in lots of ways. He's a tough guy. But when he threw that pass, the crowd was electric. The guys were electric. It really made a difference. So sometimes one play can turn a team.
Certainly.
So I think we knew we were going to win at that point.
Absolutely. So great job by you guys, like I said, by the staff and the fans and us. We had a great time at the game, and we saw the same thing. We saw a team that is capable of winning the league, and so we're even more excited now. But moving on, I want to talk to you a little bit. We got a bye week coming up right here before we play Rocky Mountain. So how do you guys handle a bye week? What does practice look like? Does it change at all? Are you preparing for Rocky Mountain early, or are you just handling yourselves? What does that look like for you guys?
We are just concentrating on ourselves, to be honest. We're looking at the film, obviously, and getting ahead that way with Rocky. But this bye week feels a heck of a lot better than the previous 2 years. Last year we were 0-5, and the year before that we were 1-4, which you remember. And that's hard. That's hard because the guys haven't changed a lot. I mean, a lot of new faces, but the composition of the team, we've continued to build it the right way, where they understand how important. Well, they're driven. They want to be successful, and they're frustrated when we aren't performing as well as we need to. So the last couple years, it was me just trying to make sure that the staff continue to work hard, continue to believe, and the players continue to believe in what we're doing. This year, I think the guys believe. And now it's a matter of, can we bring some younger players along? Can we keep our competitive edge? So that's the challenge right now. And maybe get some guys a little bit more healthy. So I love where we are. We figured it out. We practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Give the guys a long weekend. They do lift weights on Friday, but we want them to be fresh. We want them to be excited to come practice and prepare. We're winning games, Brock, because we're preparing extremely well, we're working very, very hard, and we're playing very, very aggressive football. So you do need to be fresh for all those things. You need to be fresh-minded and into it, and part of coaching is how hard do you push, and so we're pushing these 3 days and through Friday noon or so, but then we're backing off a little bit, and then we'll hit it again on Sunday.
Absolutely, and that's great. So you guys are through 3 games, like you said, right where you want to be, 3-0, ranked number 11 in the country. It's really exciting, but haven't won anything yet. So what do you want to see your team improve on after 3 games? After you get to see 3 games of film and heading into the de facto second half of the season, what do you guys want to be improving?
Well, I think it's just getting sharper. It's getting sharper. It's knowing what we're doing, getting there faster, and that's not everybody. We got a few guys that are very experienced and are playing at a very, very high level. Josh Brown and Ricky Bowman on the offensive line. Connor Richardson, Hunter Juarez is really coming into his own. Darius is playing better than I thought. On defense, Forrest is playing extremely well. Tristan Alisi's playing great. Isaiah Abdul is playing very, very well. Landon Gamble is playing extremely well. So our experience is showing up. But now it's kind of not putting it all together like we're missing something, but just raising the level of expectation and speed and execution level, and having higher expectations for ourselves. I mean, I think we're getting close to, and you will remember this in your years, and it happened late in the year, each of the last 2 years, where not only do you believe, but the leadership begins to emerge, and guys are holding each other to a higher standard. And I believe that it's one of my real interests in sports is how do you develop internal leadership, and we've done that each of the past couple years and throughout the program, but I want to do it more. You know, when you got more guys who have those high expectations, then you really got something going on. That's from the mind of Bill Walsh too, so I've just never ever forgot that. The 49er team that I had the pleasure of playing on in 1986, I've never seen such leaders on the team. The coaches rarely raised their voice, but when you have Ronnie Lott and Keith Fawnhorst at right tackle, all these guys who played a bunch of years, it was incredible. Ronnie Lott is the #1 guy. You got a good Ronnie Lott story? Not today, but soon
we'll get to that. Yeah. Maybe the toughest guy in football history, so of course we want to hear about that. But anyway, that's great to hear. You guys tune in next week for the Steel Show against Rocky Mountain. We'll preview Rocky Mountain a little bit more. Want to make a quick episode for you guys this week, but the Yotes have a bye week, and then Rocky Mountain, then another bye week, and then we're on the road against Carroll. So a huge 4 weeks for the Yotes, not only to get better, but hopefully get a couple wins. Get back to Simplot where we can pack the stadium even more. Again, thank you so much for the turnout that we had last weekend. It was a great atmosphere. Let's keep that up. And thank you so much, Coach.
Thanks, Brock. Appreciate it.
So the first play we're going to start off with here is the first drive in the first quarter. Dom Garzoli is going to have a big run here off to the left. But a few things I want to talk about on this is, number 1, Hunter Juarez gets after this corner out here. Couple good pole blocks. Dom Garzoli makes a couple of great moves in the backfield to free himself up on the left side. So just a great all-around play by a number of guys, and a play that really got the Yotes going on Saturday. So we'll take a look at it here. First, I want you to take a look at the bottom of the screen. Hunter Juarez gets off the ball here, gets on the corner's toes, and just drives him back. I mean, that's really taking the fight to somebody, setting the tone for the game. Again, Hunter Juarez just does a heck of a job here to say, I'm going to be here all day in your chin, and welcome to Simplot Stadium. Center Ricky Bowman and the left guard here do a heck of a job pulling. They get out here on the edge. These two right here, they're going to get out here on the edge and block this alley defender right here. Take him out of the play completely. That guy's got no chance to make a play. They finish the block on him. Heck of a job. Tyler Ray here on the left side. Tyler Ray's here in the tight end position on the left side. He's going to pin down his man right here. Gets a pin block and then finish. Finish Tyler. Does a heck of a job here, just again clearing a hole. And then Dom Garzoli. Not enough you can say about him on this play. Makes a move in the backfield to get rid of it. Bounce, good move. Get to the outside. Another good move to get extra yards. We'll let you get another look at that from Dom. but a heck of a play by him. He's a guy who's, featured a lot in the offense. There's 3 great backs, and he's one of them. And he did a great job getting the Yotes started off on the right foot today and getting them on a drive to eventually score a touchdown. Next play we're going to talk about here offensively is a play that was, it was in the second quarter, right after a Southern Oregon pick 6. So Southern Oregon gets a pick 6 against us down here on the sideline. They get some momentum going. It's a 14-7 game at that point. And the Yotes just do maybe the biggest drive of the game to be able to answer that pick 6 with a couple of big plays and go score and tie the game right back up. So on this play here, we're going to have a little skinny poster out here by Hunter Juarez at the bottom of the screen. O-line has excellent protection here. Darius avoids a little bit of a rush and then throws a heck of a ball. So really just want to highlight the O-line's protection. Hunter Juarez does a great job of just using his speed and getting by his defender here, and then Darius throws a heck of a ball. So first we'll watch Juarez here at the bottom of the screen. Little motion to take away that defender in the slot. Juarez is gone. Heck of a ball by Darius here, and a great adjustment by Hunter Juarez here. So he gets on his toes. First thing as a receiver, you want to get on the DB's toes, threaten him vertically, stick, make your move, get upfield. A great adjustment to the ball there and a heck of a catch, big play. Again, we'll go back to the O-line. O-line's all stepping right. They do a good job of giving Darius some time. There is a guy that leaks through on the top part of the screen here, the left side of the O-line. DN leaks through a little bit here. Darius does a nice job dropping back, stepping to the side, and then delivering a heck of a ball here. That's a big-time throw by a senior here. That's an all-conference type throw. And the Yotes, if they get plays like that all year, are going to be really tough to stop. So big-time job by Hunter Juarez here, the O-line, as well as Darius. So the next play we're going to highlight here is a play from the defense on Southern Oregon's first drive of the game. They're going to run a little screen pass out here to the left. It's a little bubble screen to this guy who's motioning. And David Ford is really who we're going to highlight here. Just a heck of an individual play. They have numbers out here. Southern Oregon feels really good about what they have. They got this guy motioning out there, and it's 2-on-2. And what that means is we have 2 receivers here, 2 DBs. If these guys both can get their blocks and the quarterback can get this guy the ball quickly, he's going to have a lane to run in and can potentially be a huge play for Southern Oregon. So they have numbers out here. Things are looking good schematically for Southern Oregon, but you're going to see David Ford right here lined up over the slot, and he's just going to blow up the play. He's just going to beat his guy to the spot and blow it up. And a heck of a tackle. That's just a big-time play right there. I mean, that's a tough play to stop as a defense. Anything that's on the edges, especially, like I said, when they have numbers. David reads it very quickly, puts his foot in the ground, gets past his guy, and finishes the tackle. And again, those are just kind of tone-setting plays for the game, just like the offense had a couple of times, like Dom Garzoli's first run. David Ford is really setting the tone for the defense here, saying, we're going to be able to outrun your receivers. We're going to tackle you guys. We're going to hit you at the point of attack. And you're going to have to do a lot more than just a little screen pass to get some yards on us. So a heck of a job by David Ford here, and really set up a 3rd and long that got the defense off the field. So heck of a job, David. So this is a play in the 4th quarter here made by the defense that really kind of ended the game. I know that the score ended up being 41-38. That was a little closer than the game actually indicated. So this was a huge play by the defense. We get a strip sack from Landon Gamble coming from over here. There's a number of people that do a heck of a job on this play to create the sack. So what you're going to see here is Southern Oregon's going to run a little seam stop combination here. So this slot receiver is going to go up the seam here. Outside receiver is going to run a little stop route here on the edge, and they're going to want to work that little combination. That's what the quarterback's doing. He's going to get the ball, look straight to the right, and work that combination. So we have a safety over the top right here, so it's going to be tough for them to work that seam. You're going to see here, quarterback gets the ball. He's looking to the right. He's trying to work that seam stop combo. But we got a guy over the top taking away the seam route. Isaiah Abdul is all over the comeback. I mean, you can't guard that any better. He's on his hip the entire way. Guy's got no chance to get the ball there. So the quarterback panics a little bit. And we got Landon Gamble coming over here off the right side. Just speed rushes the tackle, gets around him, makes a play, strip sack on him. Graham Carnahan with the fumble recovery. We'll give you guys a look at it from this angle here. Landon gives a little move on the left side here. Gets around the guy. all over the quarterback, gets the ball out. That's a heck of a job of using your hands to get the ball out here once you get there. And then we got a number of purple hats all over this ball. That's what I like to see is, when the ball's on the ground, you can tell if a team is playing hard if we have 3, 4, 5 hats on top of the ball. And that's exactly what the Yotes have here. This is a play that set up a touchdown to go up 38-24, I believe. Really put the game out of reach. And just a huge momentum play for the defense here. So Landon Gamble continues to show up on film, getting after the quarterbacks. DBs are doing a great job here. Heck of a job by Graham Carnahan to get on the football and turn over Yotes, and those are things that are going to win games. Last play here that we want to highlight is a little special teams play. The punter number 35 for us for the CFI Yotes has been doing a heck of a job all season. He pinned the Montana Tech Ore-Diggers on the 1-yard line last week. Does the same thing here against Southern Oregon, and that is just plays that are so big for the defense and for the entire team and for momentum. This play actually led to a safety a couple plays later by Southern Oregon, so him pinning them on the 1, it backs them up, and we get a safety off of that going into halftime. But so first, he does a great job here. Obviously lands the ball inside of the 10-yard line, gets a good favorable bounce. But another guy we really want to highlight here is Dylan Martinez. He's right here where the mouse is. There's Dylan. He does a great job of finding the football and then getting behind it, right? You want to get behind the ball just in case it takes one hard bounce, and you can kind of get in front of it and catch it, knock it down, all that good stuff. So he does a great job of getting behind the football, finding it. You take a look at this angle. There's Dylan Martinez right here. Good job getting downfield, finds the football in the air. Then he gets behind it, puts his heels on the goal line, find the ball, down him on the 1. I mean, that's just as good as it gets right there. Again, the punter for the Yotes has been doing a heck of a job all season. He also pinned the Red Raiders inside of the 5-yard line on a fair catch later in the game. So he did it multiple times this game, doing a heck of a job all year. If he continues to do this, it's going to help out our defense. And we got guys making high-effort plays on special teams like Dylan Martinez does here and JT Mahone last week when he caught the ball against Montana Tech on the 1. So just a great job by the punt unit. And, if they keep doing this stuff, the Yotes are going to be tough on defense. All right, guys, so I want to give a recap of what happened around the rest of the league. Obviously, we know that the Yotes got a huge win, 41-38 over Southern Oregon. Big game this weekend. But for the rest of the league, first off, Montana Tech went down to LaGrande, Oregon, beat Eastern Oregon 35-10. Kind of controlled the game all day. Jed Fike had a typical day for him, a huge day, just a shade under 200 yards. So heck of a game by him and Montana Tech to bounce back after losing to C of I in week 1. Montana Western hosted Montana State Northern and got a W 38-13. Montana Western moves up to number 20 in the rankings. They're 2-0, looking like they're going to be a tough matchup for the rest of the league. Certainly a huge game down the road for the Yotes, but they get a big win over Northern in week 2. And then lastly, really the surprise of the week is Carroll over Rocky, 44-7. Carroll's obviously struggled the last few years. A ton of pride in that program. Anyone who's been around the Frontier Conference knows that they've won, 6 national championships since 2000 and have just a great program and a lot of pride. But they really took it to Rocky this weekend. Rocky started out the season 2-0, then drop a game in a big fashion against Carroll. So they drop in the rankings. Carroll moves up. Really a surprise game for the Frontier Conference. But Carroll looks like they're going to be tough after playing Montana Western really tough in week 1, only losing by a touchdown. Looks like Carroll's an improved team, but that's kind of what happened around the league this week.